Let's talk about the ZV-1, Sony ZV-1. Where is it? Why am I not holding it? It's because you're looking at it at me right now. This is how it looks just in the field. I do have two lights set up, super basic setup. This is how beautiful it can look. And remember, Amazon is going to compress this footage. So it's going to look not as good as it comes out of the camera looking. This thing is sharp. Now let me switch to my iPhone to record and show you off, or show off this camera and all the benefits and features and all the things it has. So let's go to my iPhone. All right, now we're filming from my iPhone 13, and let's look at the ZV-1. So first of all, you have to understand that what it comes with and what it doesn't. I bought this cage, which is awesome, and basically it allows you to like attach like a little tripod clip thingy here, which is really helpful, but you don't need it. But everything else comes with it, this little wind muff. And you heard the audio before in the footage before. The audio sounds great. I use it straight up. I actually want to buy a mic for it, but I haven't even done that. And I use the audio to review things like this. So what is a ZV-1? Not Zevia. It's a portable pocket. I put it in my pocket sometimes. Durable camera that you can have on you traveling wherever and be able to pull out and get some really stunning, amazing footage. I'll try to put up some B-roll. You know, it has its limitations, but honestly, this thing is a beast. It's a 1.8 aperture, which just means it gets pretty, you can shoot better in low light, or it opens up and get more focus. The lower the aperture, the more focus it is. I'm not going to be able to explain in super technical camera terms. It has a amazing flippy screen for vlogging, great for vlogging. Just hold it like this, boom, we're vlogging. You can see what I see here. Obviously you'd have to hold it out a little bit. And yeah, let's show you some of the features. So you can change the aperture like that. You just I'm clicking the down arrow. I can change the shutter speed. I'm shooting at 1/24. I was on the other footage. Here's 1/30, which might look pretty weird now that I think about it. It has a a record button for video. It has a camera shutter button to shoot pictures. So it can shoot pictures and video. It can shoot 4K up to 30 frames per second. I think only 30 frames per second. Yeah. And it can go up to 120 frames per second in 1080 HD, which honestly looks pretty good. And that's what got me really into playing with this camera. And now I've been shooting a lot of different things like HDR photos and just 24, 30, or 60 frames per second video. I shoot more video than pictures, but this thing has great looking pictures as well. Again, if you're looking for, I think what this camera is great for is people who are looking to get into more serious videography. I'd say there's more of a video camera than a camera to get for photography, who are looking to be more serious into photography but don't want to pull out, you know, $4,000 to $10,000 for, let's say, a Sony A7 whatever one, S3, or, you know, with lenses included and all the mounts and rigs and audio. It's gonna cost a pretty buck. Even if it's gonna cost $3,000 at the bare minimum to get a pretty nice, you know, either full frame or mirrorless kit, this thing's awesome. Now, you can't change out the lenses, but I'll show you how zoomed it can get. So, starting here, and now we're gonna zoom in all the way. Okay, that's how zoomed in it gets. So it can definitely crop in pretty nicely. It also has pretty good low light, I would say. Not like Sony A7S III, if you're familiar, or that line of cameras are incredible with low light, but it's pretty good. It's not crazy noisy. Like, you can definitely shoot pretty low light. It feels good in the hand. It's just ergonomically great. When you close the screen, it turns on. Should turn on. When you close the screen, it's gonna turn off. I love that little feature. Boom. This thing's a beast. Like, yes, your iPhone is in your pocket and it's great. This thing can also be in your pocket. And if you're looking to get any more cinematic or just take filmmaking more seriously and get much more into manual, you know, aperture, exposure, frame rates, and just shoot better looking footage, this thing is a great stepping stone into, you know, full frame or mirrorless cameras. And I would argue, now I'm not a professional videographer, but it's like anything. You need great tools for the job, and this thing's always going to fulfill a certain tool or aspect. Like maybe you're just trying to run and gun really quick and you pull this thing out because it's small, or you're trying to vlog and you want something small. I've seen a lot of people go from like a bigger, you know, mirrorless camera, and they come to this because it's small, the form factor's there. You can see how skinny it is. So yeah, I would highly recommend this thing. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it for me at the price range. There are two things that I wish it had. One is how you manually zoom is annoying. You're like having to swivel this wheel to like zoom in more or less, or you can like basically show your hand to get it more zoomed in and then like hold that. Basically, manual zooming is just much more labor intensive than using a lens. But I just want you to know that it's not a deal breaker at all. The only way to get a manual lens, basically, to be able to manually focus is a lot more money. So there's trade-offs with everything you purchase and everything in life. There's always trade-offs. This thing is not a $4,000 camera or even a $2,000 camera and a $1,000 to $2,000 lens. There's also picture profiles with this that you can use, like S-Log, Cinema 1, HLG. You can start to use those to get into color grading. And like I said, there's amazing slow motion, there's amazing regular footage, pictures. I haven't played around with that much except for HDR. HDR is super fun to play with and it looks really great. There's like a menu you can set up with quick buttons, like you can get to these faster. There's manual white balance or auto white balance. Auto white balance looks really good. That's what I was shooting on in the first clip when the video opened up with me shooting through the ZV-1. Honestly, it has it all, and it's a great price. It's a great camera. Also, one thing I did not mention was this thing has incredible autofocus. Sony is known for their autofocusing, and it definitely has incredible autofocus. Maybe a little bit worse than the iPhone, but for these type of cameras, there's a whole range of how good and bad they are, and Sony's up there, and this thing's definitely quality. I would also say the battery life, you can definitely eat through batteries. You're gonna wanna buy extra batteries. That's just kind of the name of the game. These cameras are just hotter and they require more power. You're gonna wanna also get a memory card. I got a 128 gigabyte memory card. One thing I love about this, if you use an iPhone with a Windows computer, it's so annoying to get the footage off. Now, if you use it with a Mac, it's easy, but not that easy if you have big files. With this, you just pull the memory card out, put it into a memory card slot in your either Windows or Mac computer, and you got all the footage right there with no latency. It's just quick to like get your footage. Working without SD cards is just, it's annoying after you've worked with them. All right, yeah.